Alright, hey everybody. This video is going to talk about two-step equations. If you missed it, there's already a video up on one-step equations, and you definitely have to understand the idea of one-step equations in order to do two-step equations. What we learned in the one-step equations video, just to make sure we review a little bit, is that what you have to do in order to get the variable by itself, in order to isolate it, is you have to move the constant or the coefficient to the other side by doing the opposite. So if you have a multiplication problem, you have to divide to get rid of that multiplication. To get rid of an addition problem, you have to subtract and stuff like that. So we have two problems today that's going to kind of help you guys hopefully understand the basics of two-step equations. So the first problem we're going to look at is this one right here. We have 2x plus 5 equals 11. So if you look, there are two things happening. In between this 2 and the x, there's multiplication, right? If there's a number next to a letter, that's saying we're multiplying, okay? It's 2 times of whatever x is, what our variable means. And then the other thing that's happening is we have this plus 5. So we have multiplication and addition. When you're solving equations, you're kind of doing the opposite of PEMDAS, which is SADMAP. Okay? This is the order that you get rid of stuff. You get rid of these coefficients and these constants by going in reverse. So the first thing you're going to look to get rid of to get this x by itself here is you're looking to get rid of the subtraction and addition. Well, if we look here, we have this plus 5. If we have a plus 5, we have to do the opposite of plus 5 and move it to the other side of the equation, because what you do to one side, you do to the other. So the opposite of a plus 5 is minus 5, right? Remember, what we do to one side, we do to the other side. Now this plus 5 and this minus 5, they cancel each other out. And it's not just that they cancel each other out. They cancel each other out because a positive 5 minus 5 equals 0. And we don't have to write the 0. Those are gone now. What we have now is we have 2x equals 11 minus 5 is 6. What I tell my students is it's sometimes helpful if you struggle to stay organized to almost write like a line down where the equal sign goes. Sorry, it's messy, but you try to write a line where that equal sign is, so that way you can kind of keep track of the two sides of the equation. Okay? After we do the subtraction and addition, the next thing that we're going to get rid of is the division and multiplication. So remember, you do the opposites. So if we have 2x or 2 times x, we have to divide by 2. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. Okay? These 2's cancel out. The reason they cancel out is because 2 divided by 2 equals 1. Okay? You don't have to say there's 1x. It's the same way as if you were telling a story and you would say, oh, I was walking down the street and I saw a puppy. You would say, I saw a puppy. You wouldn't say, I saw one puppy. It's a little excessive. You don't have to go that far. You can just say, I saw a puppy, and everyone knows you're talking about 1. Well, I saw an x in this problem, and it's just 1x, right? I saw an x. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. So that's how you solve these two-step equations. The beauty of understanding two-step equations is once you can solve two-step equations, you can solve multi-step equations because you follow the same thing. You do this whole SADMAP thing, and that will get you to your answer. You'll get the variable by itself. All right, let's try another problem. Okay, so we did a problem with multiplication and addition in it. Let's try a problem with some division and some subtraction, and we're going to kind of see what happens with this one. So remember, we have our SADMAP, right? We have our SADMAP. So knowing that we have SADMAP, we know that we have to get rid of the subtraction and addition first. Well, if we look here, we have this minus 4. Okay, so we have to do the opposite in order to move it to the other side away from our variable. So the opposite of a -4 is a +4. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. If it helps you guys, feel free to write that line right down the middle where that equal sign is, okay? -2 plus 4. So the way that I describe positive numbers and negative numbers to my students is I say negative numbers are like the things you want to buy. So in this problem, we want to buy something that costs $2. We have $4. Positive numbers are the numbers that you have, the money that you have. If you have money, you're happy. If you have to give that money away, you're sad. So those are some like kind of cheesy ways that I try to tell my students to remember this stuff. So we want to buy something for $2 and we have $4. If we have $4, we know that we're going to have leftover money. And if we spent two of those $4, we know that we have $2 left over. If we have money left over, it's a +2. You bring down everything else that you did not use. So this x over 3, we're going to bring that down. Let's cross that out, be a little bit more organized. So now we have x divided by 3. Remember, what we do is we do the opposite. So if we have x divided by 3, the opposite of division, multiplication. What we do to one side, we do to the other side. 3 divided by 3 is 1, just like in the last problem. We don't have to say 1x. We can just put x equals 2 times 3 is 6. Okay?